let's take a quick look at the other two stocks that were mentioned in the conversation. And we'll start with Square, okay? This is Jack Dorsey's Cash App, now known as Block. I still say Square because the ticker is SQ from used to be called Square. Now it's called Block. A really crypto-friendly company. The Cash App is a lot like PayPal, but way better. I actually use this every day. No, I'm not a spokesperson, but I did make a video on this recently because it has components that allow me to passively accumulate Bitcoin and actually earn free Bitcoin. You hear that phrase a lot, but this app actually really does that. Just passively. I buy things, I have free Bitcoin, and I have a little Bitcoin wallet. It's also got a Lightning aspect, so I could send Bitcoin to friends and family for basically free, if not free. The wallet's safe. Just it's a wonderful company. Another thing Block does, Jack Dorsey has this project, I think it's part of Block, where they have this giant mining rig out in the desert somewhere that runs off of solar. He teamed up with Tesla and Elon to set up a massive solar array that generates power and runs the Bitcoin mining rig. He's a huge Bitcoin proponent. So all these things make me love Block, but really just the idea of what the app does, it really allows me to use that app and also the Cash Card. It allows me to do all these things, and I don't pay any money. All I do is get money back. So for somebody like me, I love that, right? So that's Block. That's why I'm a believer. It's one of my 3 stocks that I invest in, other than funds that I invest in, 401k, and of course, crypto. So to be one of my 3 stocks to look at, I think that's a pretty big deal. So here, looking at Block again, there was some bad news recently, something about almost like Twitter, where they had all these additional accounts. It's an erroneous article that literally just pushed the price down over the last 48 hours or so. So here we can see the result of that erroneous article that came out. So as you can see, a lot like crypto, a lot like a lot of the tech stocks out there, Block, I believe, is pretty much at the floor, right? There's really not much room for it to go. And if you look at the Bollinger Bands here, you'll see that it's pegged right down there. And you see why Kathy of ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, why she purchased down here, right? I actually bought a bunch down at the same area back in this area at the end of the year. This is really when I started buying Block. And then I rode it all the way up here and I got rid of it somewhere in this vicinity. But I think it's time to pick it up again. We're at about $63, and let's zoom in on it really quick. And we're right there at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We bounced off at 56. So really right on that, between 56 and 60 is a really sweet zone. I mean, I was hoping for a little bit lower, but that looks pretty telling right there. So with that said, let's see if we can get any information off of the moving averages. Let's take a look real quick here. Simple moving averages. So it looks like the 50-week is doing the same thing that it's doing for a lot of stocks right now. Really pushing that price down. So that tells me that there could be some more. This is really pushing hard. I mean, this could continue. This 50-week could continue down and just force the price down a little lower. Maybe another leg down, possibly. If the price has bottomed out, which is a high probability, the only way is up. And what's our targets? 129, 134. That's a really a short squeeze. Find itself all the way the heck up there, right? In a short period of time. I mean, look what we've done back here. We went from $83 to $150. So that's the same kind of move right here. So let's measure that out really quick. So from bottom to the top, what kind of motion or movement do we get there? About 81%. Nothing big, just 81%, you know, over a few weeks. So that we're due for that same kind of movement if we're going up. But again, we could have another leg down and then we do the up. Let's measure what that would look like percentage-wise. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go up. All right. So up to the 200-week moving average, which is probably the most likely, that's about 132% if we make our way up there, which tells me it would probably be later. It would be more of a lagging move to get up there. We're not going to just go straight there. So this took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to get to the total peak. So a month and a half, right? So looking at where we're at right now, March 23rd. So that would be April 23rd and June 15th or something like that, right? June 12th. Something like this area, right? And by that time, this 100-week moving average would be all the way down here. It would already have crossed. And that could be a trigger to bring a price up. Whenever there's like a cross like that, the price could come up to meet it and then find resistance and come back down and do something just like this fractal. This is a perfect example. Anyways, I digress. That's a lot of detail there. Point is Block's a great investment. I think it's my top 3, right, for stock, individual stocks. Let's see, what else do we have? We'll turn these guys off, and then we will turn on the noise. Okay. I'm sparing you with the noise on this one. It's just lower trend lines. Okay, so yeah. So again, we had this, you know, that 55 and up range between 55 and 65. Wonderful, wonderful buy-in. But there is that possibility. We've got this final floor lower trend line, which we could possibly hit. Now we had 1, 2, 3 touch points back in 2017, 2016. That's where those long-term trend lines are coming from. So this is a long-term support. And if there's some kind of black swan event, we could easily find ourselves down here at the $40 range. Okay. So it's really, if you think about it, the way stocks and crypto have been going, it's not that much of a dump from $55 to hit 40. So your risk level, to me, you know, and this is not financial advice, but for me, buying in this area is worth the risk for me, because if we come down here, it's going to be short-lived. When you come down to these lowest of low trend lines, it's never for a long time. Look at what we did here, right? When was this? March 2020, of course. Just a slingshot down to this lower trend line and straight back up. And look what happened, right? So this is what I'm saying. This zone between 40 and 60, excuse me, the zone between 40 and 60 is pretty magical here. So, but that's Block. Keep your eye on it, even if you're not interested in investing in it. It's nice to be getting into a stock that's down at the bottom, right? Just like Cathie Wood just did.